Sports Rant with yours truly. I haven't done many episodes. This is lockdown number 2. The train's so empty. You get the train at 9ish. It's just crazy. So obviously, like to talk about some sports. Yeah, just started my journey. West Islip onwards. So, going to say that unfortunately we've seen the rise and demise of Man United. Finally, as I've always said, Harry Maguire was overrated. I'm not saying he's a rubbish defender, but it was exaggerated that how much of an influence Manchester United as a whole were defensively when the statistics suggested they had the third best defence in the Premiership, because it was a terrible season for most clubs other than Sheffield United.
This is Greenford. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
And Liverpool.
Change here for National Rail Services.
So it's been one of those things, and right now we're seeing, I think it's more, it's about leadership as well, because Man United were going through a positive phase under Bruno. Now Bruno, he's been like the train. Bruno is burnt out. It's like the Klopp situation, but reversed, because Klopp, when he started with Liverpool, he kept on playing his top team players with an intense approach like he did at Dortmund non-stop, and they were burned out by January. However, Bruno came in January, so he's not been able to be consistent, and it's affected him. But I still say, do not fire Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because first of all, the board never supported him. Secondly, coronavirus itself is affecting players with a hectic schedule. No side has been really good consecutively. No side has been consistent. And even look at Liverpool. They've had bad moments. Man United, as bad as they've been, they have not lost 7-1. Was it 7-2 or 7-3? It was that bad. I haven't even had time to even discuss that. That's how much of a hectic season. Look at Leicester, Man City. Now Man City looked good, but they had the resources to buy a defender for 65 million. However, it looks interesting because last night Rangers drew with Benfica, and who got sent off for Benfica? Otamendi. So maybe they got away with selling Otamendi for 50 million after all. And I like to rave on about Otamendi because he seemed like a good potential player in the first place. Or when he had that record, when he was very good with Company when they got 100 points. So it's one of those things. I'm happy Harry is being exposed, because you want England to have great players, but people were exaggerating even during the World Cup, our run to the semi-finals, because we had an easy run and they thought he was a great player. He hasn't been tested in the top. Nevertheless, it's one of those things, and he's not been the only bad player. And Ole is not innocent as well, because come on, Toronto beat after that PSG masterclass performance, you play him. He was unable to play in the second. If he was unable to play at all, then why is he available on the subs bench? Uh-oh. Why has the train stopped? Uh-oh. Yeah, so he should not be on the subs bench if he was not able to play. So that's a big factor that needs to be taken into regard. There's so much sports. I just whipped out the phone, I saw an empty train, second lockdown. I thought, okay, why not? It's a nice approach to go for, right? So next thing I should talk about is Man City versus Liverpool. I'm just going for wherever it comes to my mind. That's going to be a fantastic game. Van Dijk. I hope Pickford gets a lengthy ban, and nothing will be done to him, because they said they won't do anything. But he deserves one for the rash tackle he did, or rash foul he did on Van Dijk. Costs football itself a great defender. That's an important point to take, because Liverpool are going to be exposed to a Man City side that finally has a forward available. Aguero was available for a little while, but now Jesus is back. You saw the impact he had midweek when a much changed Man City. Remember, a much changed Man City had Jesus available as a sub. He came on and scored. So that could hurt Liverpool, and it could be a very interesting game because Man City are also have a game in hand because of their Champions League exploits from last season from the restart. So anything's possible. If Man City win, it'd be good for the title race itself, just as a neutral, because Liverpool deserve to be in the picture because they're great. And I used to hate Liverpool, but it's one of those things. And also Middlesbrough, I think we'll talk about my side, Middlesbrough, they're looking good, Fane. Goodness. I hope Middlesbrough have a positive phase where they can continuously rise and look like strong challenges for promotion, or for the playoffs I should say, because Reading looks really good. We recently drew, I think, against Nottingham, against Tony Mowbray's side, Blackburn. So it's one of those things, just hoping for everything, and I'm just going to leave it to football right now. I'll talk about Survivor Series next time, my hope and predictions. The only bad thing I'll say about Survivor Series is that a lot of the teams right now were wrestlers that were just drafted from one show to the other. They should have, to make it more intriguing in terms of dream matches, you should have perhaps timed the draft a bit better, but they had to do it at that specific time because of the SmackDown 1 year anniversary of Fox. But even the New Day versus Street Profits, you just had New Day Street Profits hanging out with each other, exchanging title belts with each other, and then suddenly they're trying to poke fun against each other. It just doesn't add up. And then Team Raw is mainly the wrestlers that left SmackDown. And then and hopefully SmackDown have a nice interesting thing tonight. Jey Uso and Daniel Bryan having a rivalry now. Maybe Daniel Bryan hopefully join SmackDown because he's one of the few pure SmackDown wrestlers, as is Jey Uso. So I'd like to see more pure SmackDown wrestlers join. I'm saying that right now. Edge versus Roman Reigns could be the Survivor Series World Title match, because it will be interesting to see out of nowhere the title change, with the Fiend scaring Drew McIntyre, scaring Randy Orton. I haven't seen all of Raw, just up to the match when when it's going to be Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin of the Hate Business versus the New Day. That's going to be a good match. I'm hoping that Drew gets terrified by the Fiend, because the Fiend in January in the dark match destroyed him. I think still that should be the situation, because the Fiend is, it's hard to say this, but it's perhaps one of the best characters since CM Punk. Since CM Punk, there hasn't been a great character for a decade or so. That's how bad it has been in terms of character development. So let's hope, and Roman Reigns as well as the tribal chief. I haven't even had time to even talk about that. The moment when it was Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and the Fiend, that's probably one of the best, all three different story developments I've seen for a long time, because they all had a strong statement of being champion. But it's just that because Roman Reigns and Fiend were so high, someone like Braun Strowman, who's also who's really high, has to be the scapegoat. And you can even see that how someone like Braun Strowman, who beat Sheamus and Cesaro in a 2-on-1 match, essentially in the WrestleMania tag team match, was still had moments when Sheamus was able to hurt him like with white noise. Nevertheless, I hope it's a great show. I think Lars Sullivan's going to take out perhaps Keith Lee and Braun Strowman. Yeah, I'm going to get going now. Have a lovely day, guys, and I'll do more of these podcasts as much as I can. I'm mainly focusing on my niece's YouTube channel, Amelia Billy on YouTube. Search for it, enjoy it, great content, and it's family fun entertainment. Take care, guys, and hopefully Middlesbrough will get promoted and take out everyone in the Premiership. CM Punk.